This week, WNBA superstar Brittney Griner is telling her story in her own words about the harrowing 10 months she spent behind bars in Russia, during which she was sentenced to 9 years in prison and later transferred to a Russian penal colony. U.S. officials say Griner was wrongfully detained in February 2022 for vape cartridges found in her luggage that contained less than a gram of medically prescribed cannabis oil. In her first cable news interview since her arrest, Griner spoke to my colleague Joy Reid about the harsh treatment and prison conditions and the fear and hopelessness she suffered as what she describes as Putin's pawn, beginning just 1 week before Putin's invasion of Ukraine until her release in a prisoner exchange in December of 2022. Watch.
How did you process the idea of spending 9 years in what then would be a gulag? It was no longer going to be county. It was no longer going to be with the women who had become your support system. This was you going on your own. I think it's IK2 by yourself. How did you process just the idea of spending that much time in a foreign prison?
I had to tell myself, you're an inmate now. You're an inmate. Like, you can't think like, oh, this is wrong, I'm innocent, or any of this. You have to just say, I'm an inmate, and do what I have to do, whatever that's going to be in the work camp. And yeah, it was tough when I got back, you know, because your mind starts going, you start adding up the years, you start saying, okay, well, my dad's this old, like, he'll be this old, like, my wife, that's 9 years, we planning, you know, all the things we had planned to do. I'm like, that's all on hold. Nephews graduated, niece is in high school. I was like, oh my God, my parents might not be here when I get out. And that's when I started to, like, kind of break eternally. Yeah. Like, that was a really hard pill to swallow.
It's an extraordinary conversation, and I'm so glad to be joined by my friend and colleague, Joy Reid. Donnie is still with us. Joy, I have a million questions for you. I want to play one more piece of your brilliant interview first, though. Let me play this. This is about the arrest.
Talk to me about that moment when you realized that those cartridges had accidentally remained in your bag in the airport in Russia.
It was definitely a free fall. It was just like, you ever been so scared? Like, something just really, like, to the core, not, you know, a little ghost scared, but I'm talking like really loved one in danger type fear. That feeling is what went through my whole body. I literally saw my life flash before my eyes. I was like, it's over. BG is no more in that moment. And I was definitely afraid.
I cried when I read I have a verbatim of that soundbite, and I've never heard terror described that way, but that's what that is. It's such an extraordinary answer that you elicit from her there.
Absolutely. And this book is extraordinary because it does take you through these harrowing moments where your heart skips a beat, you know, and that moment where she realizes, because she hadn't packed her bag herself, or she had packed her bag herself and she didn't normally, and was packing in a rush. You have to think about it. It was just after Valentine's Day. She had been focused on giving her wife the perfect Valentine's Day because she knew she was going overseas, and so just didn't think about what was in the bag. And when she realized it was there, that heart-pounding moment, and then when she's being separated from everyone else, and when other people are getting through, and she's realizing they're stopping me, they're not letting me go. And when she's being interrogated in the airport and demanded to sign something in Russian that she couldn't read, and then they call over someone from, like, you know, the sort of like a sales clerk to come over and translate, and she's not even sure if the translation is real. You just think about where your mind is going, you know. And this is somebody who really, you know, had fallen in love with Ekaterinburg, Russia, where she played and had friends, and didn't really, you know, associate herself with kind of the authoritarianism, the autocracy of Russia, because she was in a bubble as a celebrity. You know, women's basketball is hugely, wildly popular in Russia. But at that moment, she wasn't a celebrity. She realized she was a prisoner and was very quickly in a cage on her way to a prison and then later to a gulag.
I mean, Joy, I had Whoopi Goldberg here, and she said, you know, we want to flirt with Trump 2.0 and authoritarianism. This is what it looks like, the treatment of Brittney Griner. I mean, just say more about this book and her story in this moment.
Absolutely. And it goes with the conversation that you guys were just having, which I think is so important. I think we've had this thing in this country where people have decided that Russia is not only not so bad, but it is something that we should emulate. That is a society where there aren't trials. When you are accused of a crime, you are going to be found guilty. It's just a matter of how many years you're going to get. And she had learned very little Russian in the time that she played basketball there, but she learned to count to 10. And when she heard that word, devyat, that means 9, she understood what that meant. And this meant her life, in her mind, was over. Her father is in his 70s. She assumes he may not survive 9 years. She doesn't know how long he'll live. She's thinking about her family. She's feeling tremendous guilt, but also really coming to grips with what Russia is. You know, it's not the place where you play basketball, where people come up and ask for your autograph because you're, you know, the gentle lady giant, that they recognize you immediately because, A, you're black, so you stand out. B, you're 6'9", you stand out. They know who you are. You're a celebrity. But now all of those things that made you popular make you a target. She is a black, queer, 6'9" woman with curly hair and at the times dreadlocks. And all of that made her a target. The guards are pointing and laughing and mocking her in a language she doesn't understand, but she understands that she's different. And then this is another part, I think, that does go to your previous conversation. When she realizes and comes to learn through her Russian lawyers that Russia has invaded Ukraine, that's when she knows she's in real trouble. Because now she's an asset to Vladimir Putin. And now she's a part of the negotiation. She's a hostage. And so all of that, plus her fear of never seeing her wife again, never seeing her family again, it's all wrapped up in the politics between the United States and Russia, which makes it 10, 20, 30 times worse.